Hello, beautiful seekers. This is Kala, your astrologer slash tarot reader for these new moon and full moons that we have going on. We've got a new moon in Pisces coming on Wednesday at 10:04 a.m. Central Standard Time, so adjust accordingly to where you are in the world. And with Pisces, I'm going to start shuffling the cards. With Pisces, this is an area of the chart where all the signs merge. And so it's kind of like this completion, it's almost completion of that 2018 cycle that we had going on. And I wrote some notes, so I'm going to look over here for a second. Another thing that happened when I was in Thailand for the Virgo full moon, I was actually getting a foot massage at the time, and they were really cheap massages. They were like $10 for an hour, which was amazing. So I had two that day. And one word that came to me when I was actually starting to prepare for this video was just the loss of control, because all these signs merge together, and this is where we kind of break down, and all the signs, all the things we've learned throughout the signs, throughout the years, or the year. So 2018, and sometimes years, depends on what cycles you're in, like Uranus going into Taurus, which we'll talk about in a second here. But with Pisces, it was just the loss of control, like lose control, like don't try to control the things that are coming up for you, the things that are going well or not going well. We got, I believe, the Emperor. So the Emperor card, as we're talking about Pisces. So this is kind of, for me, this is like mastering that flow of energy, mastering surfing the wave, surfing that cosmic wave. And that can be really hard for people. So with Pisces, we have this loss of control, and we just have to let things go. If it comes back to you, that's great. But if you lose something and it doesn't, then that's not supposed to be part of your next leg of this journey or the start of the Aries season. The image that came to me when I was meditating on this was like Pisces being like during the gold rush, and like having like those sifters and going through all of this rock and stuff to find these little gems. So it's like all the things that we don't need for this next leg, we're going to change our memory. It's going to, I just had Kundalini training last weekend, and we had a lot to talk about, like how your memory changes like after the fact, and like how we change our memories, and changing the past, in which I've talked about this when I went to India, and like how you change the past, you change the future, you change your memory of the past, you change how you were maybe thought of yourself as a victim in the past, and now you're taking responsibility for the decisions that you made that put you in the position to be that. And it was a life lesson that you had to learn. And sometimes we pick really harsh life lessons, but sometimes things are just absolutely wonderful. So flowing with that and being in that energy, and whenever you're frustrated or super even happy, just taking a moment and being in that space. It's a lot easier to kind of miss out on those happy moments because we're like not paying as much attention because we just feel so good. But paying attention to the moment, whether it's good, I don't like to say bad, because everything's just different. You know, there's challenges that we come across that we have to go through. And so, let's see, what else did I have here? So we have to honor our sensitivity also, because we don't have any boundaries. So you have to kind of instate some boundaries for yourself. And you'll know when that needs to happen. Like, you'll know when there are certain things that are crossing your boundaries. You'll feel a twinge of like, oh, I'm not in alignment right now. So hopefully that'll be easy for you to recognize. And that's not usually the issue. We can usually recognize fear, anger, sadness, but doing something about it. And we've just had Venus go into Aquarius for this, for this new moon. And Venus in Aquarius is all about looking at the future. So it's like we're trying to be in the present moment, but like our higher selves are also concerned about our future and where we're going with this energy. So, let's see what I have for Venus in Aquarius. Oh yeah, so Venus is also going to square Uranus going into Taurus, or be in that vicinity. So there is a radical shift that might be occurring inside you. Something that's going to elevate you to the future. And sometimes these changes are really hard. This is the Five of Pentacles, and this can be like some disappointment that we've had. But we're going to let that go because we're changing with this Death card, this transformation card. And so we have two major arcanas with this, and we have Two of Wands, so new journeys beginning at the bottom of the deck. So we're letting go of these disappointments we've had in the past, and we're transforming them to our benefit. And this is what Uranus and Taurus is going to really be about. And it's like we have to get to that next level, let go of that material, that sediment that's pouring through, and find the gold pieces that we want to take on the next leg of the journey. So Uranus and Taurus, I had a quote here from Leonard Cohen. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. That's kind of the phrase that came to me. And the imagery that came, actually it was the imagery first, just like cracks in the earth and like light coming through. That's kind of what Uranus and Taurus is for me. This is us knowing more sovereignty, knowing more about our boundaries, and like more about what makes us feel good and how we generate resources. It's simple, it's nature. It's getting back into the garden. One of the best programs I've been watching recently is called One Strange Rock, and by my favorite, one of my favorite top 3 directors, Darren Aronofsky. And I highly recommend it. It's on Netflix in the US, and it is just like absolutely mind-blowing. Different perspective of like the earth and how we operate, how we see ourselves, and we are on this spaceship, this rock spaceship. That's the planet. And so Uranus and Taurus is going to enlighten us a lot about what's going on with the earth and the ecosystem, and how we see ourselves and see other living things, and how we treat those things, because they're all a part of us. So I got a new deck, and it's the I Ching, so I'm really excited about that. We're going to clarify this with, and this is a master number 29. So that's an 11. Sorry, not the master number 29. It adds up to a master number, which is 11. And we have a 4, a 5, and 13, which is a 4. So we have this stability coming into the 2 4s stabilize that 5, that disappointment. It's almost like a balance beam. And we have this 2 of Wands with this card, this 5 of Pentacles. The Lovers underneath the 2 of Wands, making choices, what we want in our life. The 8 of Wands, fast communication. Now, that leads into what I want to talk about with Mercury retrograde, because I feel like Mercury retrograde is very misunderstood. And if you've done your research, if you've done the things you need to do for purchasing a house or signing a contract, you've read the fine details. The problem is with Mercury retrograde, we don't read the fine details. And then we wind up in situations. So as long as you've like checked and rechecked, that's what Mercury retrograde is all about. The redo, reuse, recycle. Keep that flow, because this is a really interesting Mercury retrograde. I'm going to be tackling this on Friday, way in depth, in my Yoga for Piscean energy workshop at Delta Groove Yoga in Memphis, Tennessee. So if you're around, come on back. And this is a really interesting one because it's only in March. It goes from March 5th. It stations retrograde on the day of the new moon. And it's going to go all the way to March 28th. And it's going to go back and stop on Neptune. Because also, I forgot to say that Neptune, the sun, and the moon are conjunct during this new moon in Pisces. So this is going to be an extra fantastical, great dream time. But getting back to the Mercury retrograde, what's happening with that is we're going to surf this cosmic wave. And I've had really awesome Mercury retrogrades because I did my research. Like I didn't buy spur of the moment things. I've had really great travel experiences with Mercury retrograde. The thing about Mercury retrograde is like when you make a snap decision, when you lose your presence, when you are ahead or you're behind in time. Your mind is anyway. Your body's there, but your head is not. So we want to make sure that our head, Thank you, cards. You're amazing. So we've got stand still, as I was talking about that. And I got to read you guys the meanings of these, but I just wanted to get them pulled because I don't want to make a habit of making like almost 40-minute videos. Like I just felt like you guys are investing your time and, you know, I don't want to take too much of it. I just want to give you guys a little update of what's going on. So with the I Ching, because I don't know these symbols yet, but I'm hoping to know them real well soon. So this is above water, below water, which is interesting because that's Pisces in a nutshell. Water upon water. Danger follows danger. Water flows until it meets an obstacle or is contained. Here, water is met only with more water, and its essential abysmal nature is compounded. It is crucial that one stays true to oneself when challenging circumstances follow each other. A time of testing proves the soul's worth. Sincerity brings success in the end. So this is the I Ching. Water. Above water, below water. So this is flowing with circumstances. This is keeping your wits about you even when you're in like the middle of the ocean. Let's breathe. Breathe into the situation, come to your presence, and let the universe tell you what you need to do. Okay, stand still. I mean, this one's pretty awesome, and you know, it's through this beautiful door opening that looks like a keyhole. So it's like you are the key. You are the key to your success, but you have to come to this standstill. You have to be able to listen to your own inner self. Retrogrades are all about a heightened communication between you and the planet. So Mercury is trying to communicate, the universe is trying to communicate with you, especially this month, especially through this cosmic ocean that we have. And let me see, I just want to make sure I got all my notes here. So this is also like a search for meaning and our purpose. Mercury's also coming up to kiss Chiron, which just went into Aries. It's not going to quite come, and this is another interesting aspect about this particular sign because it's only in March. Usually it kind of branches, you know, into another month or something. And the other thing about it is that it's only in Pisces. Usually it kind of comes and goes like a little bit retrograding back into a sign or whatnot. So this is only in Pisces, and it's going to go back to 16 degrees of Neptune, where we're going to get that extra blast because Neptune is in its home sign of Pisces. And we're going to get that extra blast of like, whoa, like envisioning like what we're going to do in the future. Like maybe this is a time that I would anticipate that you would receive a lot of things where you feel like you've had deja vu, or you're setting yourself up to come into really, really profound meditations. So Mercury coming back and just catching up to Chiron is healing a lot of past wounds and healing our memories of those. I heard something. So this has been coming up a lot for me when I've been kind of watching some of the people that I watch on YouTube videos, or just in conversation. Someone wrote this on there, or posted a meme of this particular phrase. The mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. So let's keep that as kind of our mantra for this next couple weeks. We're going to check in to see what's going on, with the full moon in Aries, which will be on the day that we go into Aries. March 20th will also be the full moon. So we'll talk about that at the time. Just going to get one more card from the Art of Kundalini, which this is a final message. There's like a bunch that keep wanting to come out, but they keep trying to flip, and I can't exactly see which ones are trying to come out. It's funny. Anyway, so a lot of healing, and Chiron will also be in trine with, sorry, hold on. Chiron is in Aries. Let me look at my map here. Yeah. There was a trine that was going on, but I can't remember where it was. So, oh, okay, we got two. Oh, sorry, it was a sextile. Sextile between Chiron and Venus. Yeah, I believe. Well, a lot of healing going on in these areas, especially healing around higher communication. And for the final messages, we have energy combined, a powerful force, and embrace yourself entirely. So those are the messages that we got for this new moon in Pisces. I hope this was helpful for you. And, be sure to subscribe and hit that little notification bell so you can see when I post new stuff. And I got some ideas for things that I want to be bringing to the channel, and, kind of starting to birth my own ideas for especially the new moon in Aries. So I am so grateful for your attention, and namaste. We'll see you next time.